Ohayo.
Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, a podcast about all things Japan from a
Japanese
and foreign perspective. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us today.
ありがとう
Today, I think it's going to be a fun episode. It's always fun to talk about sex and Japanese culture.
Yeah.
But before we start, just another gentle reminder about if you have any friends that are interested in Japanese culture or planning a vacation to Japan or want to learn Japanese, please share our podcasts with them or any of our TikTok clips or Instagram clips. Apparently, sharing is a way for new people to find our podcast. And the platform, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok will push our podcast out more to,
お願いします
Thank you. So today's episode
はい
is our second episode about sex fetishes of Japan. So we're going to talk about a few sex fetishes today.
Yep.
One of them is Tamakeri,
Tamakeri
Yobai,
Yobai
Chikan,
Chikan
vibrator bars, and ha fetish.
Ha fetish
So,
Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, for some reason in Japan, like sex fetishes are more prevalent in Japan. I'm sure fetishes are like
all
you know,
over in
all
the
over.
world.
It's just like a human nature
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
It's what you're into, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know. Do you feel like the word fetish is like a negative thing,
No, I don't
right?
think so.
It's just what you're into.
yeah.
And if what you're into is like not normal, not vanilla, arguably boring, it's automatically a fetish.
Yeah.
But sometimes like it sounds weird, like people think it's like offensive or like,
Yeah.
right? I know that like recently there's people that feel like Asian women are being fetishized. And I guess that's like a negative thing, right? In terms of fetishes, right? When it's like race-based.
Yeah.
But if like it's amongst two consenting adults, if they're both into whatever you guys are into in a safe, healthy setting, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like Japan, the culture in general is kind of so private, so close,
Especially like sex things.
right?
People don't talk normally in front of any other people, especially
Right.
like to the family, or even maybe like sometimes they're hiding their own fetish from the close friend too, because like they don't wanna.
Be judged. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, is it like impolite to talk about sex?
It's
Like-
not impolite, but it's just they're worried to, like you said, like people are gonna judge them.
So it's funny because like it's not so open to talk about sex or even like sex education in schools. It's not so open. But at the same time, there's like so many sex fetishes in Japan.
Yeah.
There's like areas that offer prostitution, like host clubs, hostess clubs, blowjob bars, right?
Yep.
Like you can buy sex, you can have sex in like all these different ways, love hotels, themed. It's everywhere, flashing lights, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's so closed,
Yeah.
which makes talking about sex in Japan so interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I feel like in the Western world, you can't find these blowjob bars, vibrator bars,
no,
host
no.
clubs.
Yeah.
You can find strip clubs, but even prostitution is illegal and very much hidden. But amongst the general public, talking about sex openly is seen as like more a healthy thing, right? Like it's a fact of life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when I was living in Japan, I got the sense more that like maybe because they see me as a foreigner, but I felt like sex was really open.
Really?
Like I got the vibe where like people treated sex like eating or breathing, like it's a human function. You need to do it. So let's just do it.
Maybe because you're a foreigner?
That's why I was like thinking.
Yeah.
And like I felt that like even hooking up with someone, there wasn't like that awkward like, oh, I'm gonna make my move, put my arm around them, like lean in for a kiss, or like be so indirect and be like, oh, do you want to come up for a coffee, come up for a drink, and then, you know, kind of do that dance, you know? But eventually, ultimately, both people know that like you're gonna have sex. But I felt like in Japan, it was like, all right, so when are we gonna go to the Love Hotel, or let's just go to the Love Hotel, or let's just have sex. Like it was like really direct that way. You don't have that same experience in Japan, like.
Well, yeah, because I left Japan when I was 21,
That's true.
so it was quite early. And
like I guess the prime sex years, you already left Japan.
Exactly, and in that time you're in Japan, so like around that age, I think people are more open to find your partner.
That's true.
To, you know, have sex or and then also on top of that, maybe because they feel more comfortable talking to you because you're not Japanese.
Also, maybe because I lived in Himeji, small town.
Maybe that's also
not many. I bet you Himeji is small enough where like if I dated you, my friend also had dated you in the past, or like you know everyone, right? Yeah. But because I was a gaijin, oh, he's untouched. It's fine, right? I don't have to. There's no drama.
No.
Right?
No.
All right. So let's start with our first sex fetish.
Yep.
That's popular in Japan. And it's called
Tamakeri.
Tamakeri. Tama
is a ball.
Ball. Keri.
Kicking.
So ball torture.
Yes.
I think it's like a worldwide fetish, obviously. But
which I didn't know.
And apparently I read that the nicer the slapping sound it makes when you kick someone's balls, like it turns them on more.
Really?
Yeah, like you're looking for a nice slapping sound. But I guess it's kind of like I took Muay Thai for a little bit. And you can tell if a kick is correct when you kick the punching bag or like the pads, if it makes that nice slap. You know it was a good kick, so it might be the same.
So that's what they want? Thai kick?
I guess. But I think Tamakeri, in particular, it's a dangerous one.
For sure.
Right? Like
for sure.
Like there's times where there's bleeding involved, right? Didn't you have a story where like you knew someone that was like a dominatrix in Japan?
Yeah, so I met this lady when she was in Japan. She was working for this club, which is the Tamakeri club. Or maybe it was like SM club or something.
Okay.
I didn't, ask too much, but she was telling me the story about like this guy. He's I think he has very good status,
like a CEO or something
like that, and an old guy, but he's a regular.
Okay.
And he loves kick the ball by her. Yeah. And then he always asks her like more, harder. Wow. So at the end, she kicked his ball, and then she told me like it was bleeding.
From where?
I don't know. That I couldn't ask.
Like leaking out of the dick?
I don't know.
Or just, wow. Or like maybe it was so swollen that it split?
I think. So like I said, like I didn't know before because she told me and I was like, oh, it's actually exists. Somebody want to pay for this.
Yeah.
And then like they feel sexy about it.
Right.
But to me, I asked her like, what about you? Do you like it?
Yeah.
And then she said, yeah, I love it.
Hey, if it's your job, right?
Yeah.
Like, I hope you would love it.
Yeah. So
I think it's like a pretty lucrative job, like to be a dominatrix or a dominator or whatever. Like I suppose the fee for it must be pretty good.
Yeah.
And if, again, you get regulars, regular customers, rich people. And if they're old, I suppose, like, I'm not going to have kids anyway. Might as well.
That's true. That's true. And you want to go, like, more extreme.
Yeah, right? It's just going to get more extreme.
I know.
Like, if you're into it.
Talking about this,
but, like, yeah, dominatrix clubs in Japan is common. Like, I think you pay a set, like, cover charge, entrance fee, and then...
And it's not cheap.
Of course, right? Yeah. It's a specialty.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everyone has the stomach to be a dominatrix or, you know, like I'm causing pain to you.
Exactly.
Like it's tough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you pay a entrance fee, a cover charge, and then you buy
I think there's
menu items.
Yeah. Like menus, like courses. And then you can choose like
I want the full tasting menu.
Yeah, what she can do for me, right?
Yeah, right. I want to know if it ends in like orgasm. You know, or is it just I just inflicted pain, or like does it end in orgasm?
I think pain turn into orgasm. For those people.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if like the worker physically makes you orgasm, or like do you have to like finish yourself from being so turned on, or do they? I don't know how it works. Listeners, if you guys are into any like masochistic or like pain sex stuff, let us know. Like,
yeah,
because for me, thinking the pain, I won't be able to come. Like, it hurts.
No,
right?
No.
Right?
Ugh.
But yeah, different strokes for different folks. Again, we're not judging with this podcast. We're just presenting what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one that we're going to talk about is Yobai, translated to night crawling. So I think what it is now is kind of more like evil, more sinister. But it seems like how it started in the Meiji era, where it was a way for unmarried men and women to hook up. I guess it was like a common way for you to find a husband and wife or wife. But it was a way to like date and have sex without the shame of your family knowing. So the guy would wait until nightfall. Everyone's asleep. I'll sneak into your room. We will have consensual sex.
Yeah.
And then by the morning, I would leave so your family or your parents wouldn't know. But so I think back then, how it started, it was definitely an act of courtship, right? But now, I think it's more like kind of like molestation or rape fetish.
Yeah.
Like it's even if we're both consenting, but one of us will pretend like I don't know that you're going to come into my room. Or like the type of fetish where like I'm pretending that I'm still asleep and you can have your way with me, right? I think that's what it is nowadays, no?
Yeah, and then obviously normally like couples or like
exactly.
They set the day and then okay, I'm gonna pretend in sleep.
Yeah,
so
right.
Can you?
Or like the kink forums to meet people that have the similar kink or fetishes, right? But it's interesting that that's like a traditional Japanese way of like
the
courtship.
Yeah.
It's so weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So much so that like there was like a closed type of yobai where it was a custom where only men from the same village could come to visit. Like, I guess, yeah, right? Like, you're finding a partner.
Yeah. And I think you say Meiji era, but I think yobai is like way like
even earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So even back then.
Yeah, I think that's the way how people actually meet it up,
right?
Because like if like what I read the article was like if your daughter, I mean like this family is rich,
okay,
and then you have a daughter, but daughter is not going out, she's always staying home.
They're with the protection of like the family, right?
Exactly. But like the parents still wanted to tell people we have a beautiful daughter, and
we want them to marry.
Like, they talk about daughter to everywhere, so other guys can find out, oh, there's a young lady living in the house. So they start sending tanka, which is like a small like a letter.
Okay.
So then they start communicate. And then at some point, I'm going to come to your house at this day, blah, blah, blah. And then guy goes there, do things, leave before sun goes up.
So it's funny. So I guess maybe even the parents are just pretending like they don't know.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so Japanese.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But we need it to happen.
So that's the like old style yobai.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like
more like fetish like things. Yeah. So
I don't think you're finding partners like that anymore, right?
No.
I guess back then, right? Like my daughter would not be able to go out past a certain time, tradition, you know, or whatever. There's no like clubs to go to, right? Single nights at bars or whatever.
And then
that
like
makes
back
sense,
then,
actually.
like old time, it doesn't have to be house. Sometimes they tell each other, let's go this shrine. Then they go there at the middle of the night. Then they do things.
They just do in the forest or whatever?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So it's really like night crawl.
Night crawling, yeah. Yeah, nothing, I guess, sinister about it, actually.
Yep.
The next one is sinister.
Yeah.
Is fucked up.
This is fucked up.
It's almost, it's a problem in Japan.
This is a big problem in Japan now. Yeah.
So, what we're talking about is
Chikan.
So, Chikan is molestation.
Yeah.
The act of touching or rubbing one's genitals or feeling another person up in a sexual manner without their consent. Most commonly associated with public transportation. Yeah. Right. We mentioned it before. That's why there's women-only cars. So apparently a report from NHK, the National Broadcasting Company in Japan, reported that 70% of women have experienced some sort of chikan in their lifetime. Yeah. That's so fucked up.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Even men, it happens to men, but way less. So men is about 10% of men have reported that they have experienced some sort of chikan, unwanted touching of any sort. The report also said that more than 50% of chikan takes place on trains. So I guess any crowded public space, right?
Yeah.
So in Tokyo, rush hour, morning and after work, the train capacities are at 150%. So you've seen clips of like people getting shoved in like sardines, right? So that's, I guess, these molesters
took advantage of it,
right?
Yeah.
Happens so much in some subway lines in Tokyo that are like notorious for chikan is that cameras are also installed. And police have to put up like public announcements, posters to encourage people to report that chikan happened to them. Because a lot of the time, apparently, people that are victims of chikan, they don't report it because I guess maybe the fear of causing a scene, the shame.
Yeah.
I don't know the reasoning, or even like maybe I need to get to work. If I report this now, make a whole big scene, gotta wait for the police to come. How am I gonna catch? Like, do I grab this guy? You know, like.
Also, there's another problem because like sometimes the person they thought they got chikan from someone.
Okay.
But actually this guy didn't do anything, or this even women. But once they say like he did to me, she did to me, it's very difficult to telling police I didn't do it because there's no evidence.
There's
in
no
a both
proof,
way.
Right?
Yeah. So there's even some movie about this.
Okay.
This guy basically got how to say like
I know
he didn't do it. But
so he got accused of doing it, but he's actually innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he got arrested.
Okay.
But he said like, well, I didn't do it. But police say, you know what? I know, but it's better you say you did it. Then you can be free. If you keep saying I didn't do it, it's gonna make you more difficult.
Like court wise and stuff.
Yeah. So when you getting into the crowded train, also people telling that you should put your hand somewhere everybody can see, or like don't
hold on to the handles, or like
both hands hold on some bar or whatever.
Put your backpack in front of your dick or something like that, just to like
something. Yeah. And also I heard like when I asked my friend, even my girlfriend, she went to only female school. So like bunch of friends they got chikan.
Okay.
But also my guy's friend, two of them they got chikan in the train. Of course by a woman.
Yeah.
So yes, the percentage obviously the female is more high being a victim.
Yeah.
But still guys also get this.
So like they're taking advantage of the fact that the train is so packed. And trains, stop abruptly sometimes, and then I'll just lean towards you, and I get off that way, I suppose.
Yeah.
But apparently, bicycle parking. So outside pretty much every train station, there's bicycle parking. Bicycle is like a very common form of transportation in Japan.
Yeah.
But apparently, in bicycle parking lots, there's a lot of chikan as well. There's like posters up, so. They warn people that chikan also happens in these parking lots too. So what happens is a molester would wait for someone to lean over and unlock their bike. And while they're bent over, they will come from behind and grope them or whatever and run off.
Wow.
But yeah, like, there has to be something about Japan that makes chikan so prevalent, right? Like,
yeah.
Has to be something like the fact that maybe it's such a closed culture in terms of sex, or like the whole idea of like there's a lot of like shy, and I guess it's weird, but because you shouldn't do it, that's why you want to do it. That type of feeling, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
So in terms of the fetish, there's Chikanplay, where both consenting parties, I'll pretend to be on a train, and you will come and grope me, and we both get turned on from it, right?
Yeah.
So like even like there's love hotels that are themed rooms that are in a subway train.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like John was talking, like super early episode, we're talking about Love Hotel, and then he talked about that, like the train theme room, so you can you can play, with your partner.
There's even like Japanese porn where it's like a full train of passengers. I'm sure everyone's an actor, right? And then it's just like full on sex.
Yeah.
But it started from like a groper. And then eventually she consents.
Yeah.
And then they just have like open sex on the train.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do make it seem like the other people on the train, like they pretend like, I don't see it. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
This is off topic, kind of. But like, I recently saw a TikTok video of a neighbor out of their balcony. It was like he was living on the first floor.
Yeah.
And they were on the balcony and they were filming their neighbor's balcony because some random dude climbed the fence and went to their neighbor's balcony and tried to reach for laundry hanging. Yeah. And then the guy was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. And then like the guy kind of just like sheepishly like just walked off. Right?
Yeah, that's also, because in Japan, many people, they after the laundry, they hang outside to dry.
Are dryers like a thing?
Yeah,
they're a thing, but
dryer is a thing.
Did you grow up having a dryer?
No,
right?
No,
exactly.
Yeah, like it's not common. My house, it's always hanging outside.
Yeah.
But so, many times, if you live by yourself, especially female, they normally have like maybe like couple of like male underwear and just hanging with other laundry.
Yes,
because that means there's a guy too. So those weirdo won't come to your house and is stealing your underwear or whatever.
Not only stealing your underwear, but they will stalk you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, stalking is a big problem in Japan too.
Yeah.
Being a female is hard in Japan.
It is. Yeah.
Right? Like there's a lot to worry about for sure.
Yeah.
Do they have things where it's like I forgot what exactly the term is. Maybe like an angel drink or something like that. Okay. Or like there's a code word where like if I go to a bar and I feel unsafe because there's someone that is like aggressively hitting on me or like I feel unsafe. Anyway, I ask the bartender for it's a code word or something like an angel drink. Listeners, I'm sure this is a common thing. Correct me, please, what it's called. But I will ask the bartender, I want to order an angel drink. And then they will call a taxi for you. And like they'll make sure bouncers or staff will like make sure that you get in safely.
Okay.
Right? So I don't have to overtly make it known that I want to make my exit, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if Japan has these type of things.
I don't know. I
right?
hope.
I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So this one's a little bit more upbeat. Vibrator bars.
Yes.
So that's a thing. So we're gonna talk about vibrator bars and masturbation bars. I think the masturbation bar is not so much what it makes it seem like, but we'll talk about vibrator bars. So in Shibuya, there's a vibrator bar called the Vibe Bar. The philosophy is you can see, touch, and feel. So for 3,000 yen, $30, women and couples can sample over 300 domestic and imported vibrators displayed on the wall behind the bar for up to 90 minutes while they sip their drinks.
Interesting.
The staff even have English-speaking staff.
Nice.
To cater to curious tourists. See, at the same time, this is so open.
Yeah.
It feels like it's super open, super progressive, right? Like there's no vibrator bars over here. Like I feel like Toronto is super progressive, but this doesn't exist. And I think if it did, people would be like, wow, right? But in Japan, it's so weird.
Yeah.
So closed, but yet still so open, which makes Japan very
But I
interesting,
think
right?
in Japan, yes, there's a sex toy shop, but it's really hidden. I know back then here, North America was kind of like hidden to sell toys. But nowadays, like sex toy shop, it's really open.
Yeah, it's right in the front window display. Yeah. Big ass dildos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that things exist in Japan yet.
But they have bars.
So they have to have a bar.
Rent them.
Exactly.
So I guess they offer more maybe private rooms and booths, and like you can try it out. But a lot of these like bars. So quickly, we'll talk about the masturbation bar. So it's a bar that's dedicated to women to talk about sex and love. So it's a safe space where women can openly discuss masturbation and their sexual lives with other customers, with, staff members and stuff like that. So it makes it less taboo. Because I feel like in Japan, it's like widely accepted that men masturbate. Oh, but women don't do it. Right? I feel like that's the vibe in Japan. Obviously they do. Bars like this, try to make it more open, right? It's natural, right?
Yeah.
So going back to what I was saying, that a lot of these sexual type bars or clubs and stuff like that, you're only allowed if you're a female or if you are a couple. Single men can't go to these, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's how it used to be like for like love hotels in general too, right? Single men can't go in.
No.
Yeah.
I think single person can't
even go in.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That time.
Yeah.
But now, especially after COVID,
yeah,
like hotels are like, yeah, you can come just by yourself.
And like you can rent it to have a karaoke party.
Exactly.
Right? It's just like an event space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that's
if I were to celebrate my birthday in Japan, I would invite my friends to a hotel, right?
It's fun to talk, right?
Yeah, there's like TV screens everywhere, rotating bed. Hey, you want to play PlayStation? You want to play Nintendo? We can call one up. Want to fuck around with these dildos? It's funny. Porn's playing everywhere. Right? Karaoke. It's pretty much a private karaoke room,
and then
right?
if you want to sleep, you can sleep too. And then food, drinks,
right?
Yeah, everything.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool time actually. Yeah. The last one we're going to talk about is called
Ha Fetish.
Ha fetish. Ha is teeth. In particular, I think people that are into this ha fetish, they like the yaiba.
Yeah.
So yaiba is like the canine teeth. That's like, I guess, not straight. It jets out a bit, right? Like I think in English you can call it like a snaggle tooth. So there's a subculture in Japan, a fetish where people find that attractive. So over here in Western culture, everyone's getting braces, fixing their teeth, right? But in Japan, some people actually get surgery to fuck up their teeth, make their canine tooth jet out more because it's seen as cute.
I guess.
So, or they get like dentures, fake teeth to make it like look like it's like messed
Dracula?
up. Yeah, exactly.
Vampire?
Exactly. So apparently this trend came from a J-pop girl band.
Oh, really?
Called AKB48. Super famous, right?
Yeah.
It's like an idol group that has like 48
members. Yeah. And they always rotate too.
Rotate. Oh, are they?
Yeah. Because
so
there's
like
more
new members. Okay.
And then they need to be in a 48 team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the singers was popular because she proudly rocked her sexy snaggletooth.
Okay. I mean, snaggletooth is sexy? Maybe it's more cute.
I think that's the thing, right? Like, it looks prepubescent.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's still your baby teeth, maybe. But yeah, I mean, Japan, people love that, right? They love like the schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
That's
like,
also not right.
No, it's messed up, right?
Yeah, it's so
like even like the manga, a lot of it is like they sexualize school-aged people, right?
Yeah. It's illegal.
It's illegal.
I mean, like illegal here.
It's illegal here, yeah.
But like
even when
Japan,
like last time I came back from Japan, Canadian Customs asked me if I bought any Japanese manga or comic books.
Has those?
They just first asked me about that, and I'm like, no, sorry, we don't, no, we're not into comics or whatever. It's like, are you sure? Because like, you have to be careful bringing in Japanese manga because a lot of it can look like child pornography.
And then if you have it, and what happened? They're gonna arrest you?
I don't know.
Maybe
minimum they confiscate it. Yeah, they're gonna take it, right? But like maybe if it's not like the full nudity, like porn manga, but maybe even if it's just like a manga about like high school students.
And no.
Possibly. I don't know. They can check your luggage and see.
So what about Sailor Moon?
Could be too, right? It depends on like the customs officer, I suppose.
Yeah. Because somehow Japanese animation, especially if the character is like female, and many times they have some sort of like sexy scenes.
Yeah, like one of the rare animes I have watched is called Food Wars.
Okay.
So, you know, we're cooks, right? So it's a manga about cooking.
Yeah.
And it's actually really like correct in terms of like cooking technique. Like it's legit. It's about high school students that go to this high school that is focused on the culinary arts. So it's like a cooking school.
Yeah.
And then there's, you know, like kind of like Iron Chef type competition, you know. And then out of nowhere, it's so weird. So like the female student, even the male students, after they eat something that's very delicious, it cuts to a scene where like all of a sudden their clothes get ripped off and they're just wearing their underwear. And like these are like high school girls and they have like super big boobs, like mad cleavage, and they're like moaning like it's sexual. So like a
food porn.
Literally, right? So like a food anime based on cooking that has high school students cooking, they were even able to sexualize that.
Yeah. Like the Japanese culture, how they show the sexuality in a manga, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But because now I know, but before I thought it was kind of normal as a Japanese,
for sure.
and then that's really wrong.
Okay, yeah. It's so normal that like even on subways, people are reading sexy manga. Just you know. So if you look over someone's shoulder, you can see like manga porn.
Yeah.
Or like you go to the 7-Eleven, there's an area that's manga porn.
Yeah.
It's normalized.
Like, I mean, still like under 18, you know, you can't buy it. But somehow those things is more like open and more exist, and people don't think that's not right. Even Doraemon. Yeah, Doraemon, you know? Sometimes, you know that Doraemon has the door?
Yeah.
You can go anywhere?
Yeah.
And sometimes they use the door and then they ended up going the female character's bathroom when she's bathing.
Know.
And it's like, that's like the scene many times.
But Doraemon's for like kids.
Yes. So we were watching.
That's crazy.
I know. So now I feel more weird.
That's
because that's wrong.
It's normalized.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be.
Weird. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, even like Shin-chan, Crayon Shin-chan, It's like he's like a 7-year-old boy, something like that. And the funny part of the show or the manga is that he always flashes his dick to everyone.
Or butt.
Or butt all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's such a weird culture, man.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
It makes people be it skews their perception on what sex or like sexiness really is. And it makes people fall in love or find like drawings sexy rather than like real life.
Even Dragon Ball. Now I remember.
Yeah.
The first Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Like really first few episodes. There's a scene like the character called Bulma. Like we see like her underwear or like they show underwear and then other guys breathing like nosebleed.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, if like you get a nosebleed, it means that like
means you think about something
sexy.
Right?
Yeah. So if like, you know, kids, they would often get nosebleeds randomly. So in school, if someone got a random nosebleed, you'd be like,
what do you think? What did you think about?
Over here, it's more like, oh, Ryusuke's picking his nose so hard that he's making it bleed, right?
No, we don't say that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Again, sex fetishes, sex in general, in Japan is fun to talk about just because it's so different. Right or wrong, we're not here to judge anything, but it's just so different.
And that's why Japanese porn are worldwide
famous. Yeah, super famous. So we're not going to have a street level Japanese segment. We're not having the segments anymore. We're having full street level Japanese episodes. Roughly minimum about 20 minutes. That's what we're aiming for. So the street level Japanese episodes, it's pretty much just long version of the segments where we're trying to teach casual, informal Japanese that is spoken on the street.
Yeah.
Right? None of that formal. We'll present it, but our goal is not to teach you formal Japanese for you to like work in an office or to pass the national Japanese exam, right? We're teaching you Japanese where you can just like talk shit, joke around with locals, with friends at bars. Pretty much it's a Japanese that I learned at a bar.
Yeah.
So our next street level Japanese full episode is going to be about words and phrases about sex. So I'm not sure if it's because Instagram and TikTok ban you talking about sex or anything like that, but we haven't found any Japanese learning, teaching accounts that teach you about sexy words. Yeah. So but because we're a podcast first and kind of like we just edit clips to post on TikTok, I feel like we're able to talk about sex.
I think so.
Like in our podcast. So stay tuned. That's going to be the next episode. So street level Japanese words and phrases about sex.
Hi.
So thank you for listening to today's episode. Again, always rate, review, and subscribe. The number of people that have been giving us 5 stars have slowly been increasing. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Super appreciate that. And if you haven't done so, please do it right now. Just give us 5 stars. Hook it up.
お願いします。
お願いします。ありがとう。
ありがとう。バイバイ。